Who am I to judge another man? Because I have to judge myself.
How does a man who almost kills another man sleep at night?
The most violent man that ever put on a pair of gloves.
Boxing is artistic and beautiful, and violent and disastrous.
You've been warned. He's in trouble. He's through the ropes.
That was one of the classics. It fulfilled the prophecy.
8. Comes Nigel Benn.
9
has been hidden.
Look at the fucking camera, man.
What the story matter, you don't?
This isn't a fight, it's a Hollywood script.
Listen.
What?
This man almost took my life.
What's up, man?
Gerald McClellan was a great amateur. Incredible amateur. I mean, when he was actually turned professional, Roy Jones said he would never fight him. He came over to London to fight Nigel Benn. Hard work, dedication. He did train in this gym prior to the fight. If anybody wants to know the seriousness of the sport, the good and the bad of the sport, look at the two opposing corners. Look at Nigel Benn and look at Gerald McClellan.
Nice body shot.
The way I train and the way I punch, and the heart I got, and the mind I have.
Give it a rest.
My fights probably would never go past 2 or 3 rounds.
Why do you love me?
My sister. My brother.
That's the only reason?
I mean, we family, right?
Right.
Same mom and dad.
What else?
God damn, what you want to say? Listen.
I cook for you. I cook for you.
One.
I clean for you. What do you do for me?
One woman.
Can I have $100?
Alright. Rob a bank. Listen. I love you.
I love you too. I love you too.
An American writer that I was reading this week rates you as the number 2 in the world pound for pound.
Who was number 1?
Gerald McClellan was a 2-time world boxing champion by the age of 25.
That's cool, Gerald.
At the Kronk Gym in Detroit, he worked with the renowned trainer Manny Stewart. The G-Man's promoter was boxing's most powerful figure.
Gerald McClellan is a miniature Mike Tyson.
I hear you, G-Man.
Look at the man's record. Had 20-odd knockouts in the first round. The guy was a dangerous #1 hit man in America.
When he came over here to box Nigel, he was the heavy favourite. I mean, everybody expected him to win the fight.
You can't hide, Nigel Benn. You can't hide. Coming at you. Man, you know where you at. G-Man is on the case.
You're going to set mini Mike Tyson on you. You said it to the wrong person. I thrive on fear, and I thrive on challenges.
So good night, my friend, and amen. Telling me just met big bad Ben.
A former soldier with a taste for the playboy life,
Yeah.
Nigel Benn embraced every career opportunity.
Have a night. Be there.
Well, he wasn't a boxer. That's the first distinction. He was a fighter.
I mean, he couldn't jab great. His feet were wrong, but heart, determination, you couldn't fool that.
And punch?
I felt it a few times, it did hurt.
By early 1995, Benn was world super middleweight champion, but still seeking critical acclaim. Most had warned the 31-year-old to go nowhere near Gerald McClellan.
This is one of the most eagerly anticipated fights on both sides of the Atlantic for many, many years. It's going to be absolutely dynamite when it lasts.
The most violent man that ever put on a pair of gloves. I said that I want to kneel in prayer, and Gerald said, all of a sudden you want to get motherfucking religious?
The G-Man. He's so overwhelming because he's so strong, he's so aggressive, he's so mean.
The ring walk when Nigel came out was very scary.
What a magnificent reception for the champion.
12,000 Brits cheering him on to win. I've never seen that like that before.
There was violence in the air all around the fight.
He didn't want to win. He didn't want to win the fight. He actually wanted to kill Nigel Benn. He actually thought he was going to do it in the first round.
It's showtime!
We knew we had two of the most exciting fighters on the planet.
Second time!
You'd be warned.
We didn't know it was going to start the way it did in the opening round.
It was so funny, I actually looked at Gerald McClellan and I looked at him and I thought, oh, he ain't big.
McClellan looking for him straight away, Reg. Right from the opening bell, he's looking for the finisher.
He's not really big, he was just really a slim-looking guy.
I remember Gerald drilling Nigel Benn into the rope. He was right there in my corner.
And I remember him hitting me and I felt my ligaments in my neck just stretched and I went out.
The count is 6, 7.
I think we were very lucky, is the truth.
Is he going to climb back? Can he make it back?
But sometimes in sport you need a bit of luck. I think that night we got the luck.
Who was the referee?
Alfred Assaro from France.
Introducing to you the referee in charge of this main event.
If I'd had a preference, I would have liked a more experienced referee.
Alfred Assaro.
Boxing has been Alfred Assaro's life. One night has defined his career. At the London Arena, he was taking charge of his second world title fight.
There was one basic problem with that referee. What was it?
He couldn't speak English.
Break. Right. Head. Okay, head. Stop.
Now we're in London, where both parties speak English, and we got a guy named Eddie Azar from France.
C'est pas une obligation de parler anglais dans un combat de boxe. Boxe, break, stop, time, c'est tout. One, 2, 3.
However, much more significantly, say his critics, Assaro got that first round count wrong.
4, 5.
Nigel was getting battered, and he went out of the ring onto the apron.
Oui ou non, votre décompte est-il trop long?
Non, moi j'ai un système de décompte. Lorsque le timekeeper commence, j'enchaîne. De toute façon, il a mis moins de 20 secondes.
Now, if he'd dropped off the apron, he could have had a count of 20, but he didn't. So he still only had a count of 10 to get back in. All I can say is I think it was borderline.
Even though it seems he wrongly ruled Benn had 20 seconds to recover, Asaro now says he was only counting to 10 and had reached just 8 by the time Benn was back in the ring. Others are not so sure.
If you'd been Gerald McClellan, would you have thought I've won that fight in the first round?
Yes.
Absolutely by knockout.
Le président mexicain qui a demandé à l'Europe quel est votre meilleur arbitre européen. On a dit Alfred Asaro.
That's it, he survived the round anyway.
Alors,
Alfred Asaro says he was not responsible for what happened. He has kept every report from that night. Pride of place goes to a letter from the French Boxing Federation.
cher Alfred, vous n'avez absolument rien à vous reprocher. Allez, courage et confiance. À bientôt, amitié. Bernard Restou, président de la Fédération française.
How does a man who almost kills another man sleep at night?
For 12 years after the fight, there was a lingering animosity.
At that time, there was so much resentment, hatred, or whatever. And then I read an article in a paper that said, we wanted Benn dead, now we want his money. So this was what I was left with.
All you lot were cheering him up, giving it this, giving it that.
I was just on a high.
I knew he wouldn't be able to go the distance.
At that time, I wasn't really thinking about Gerald.
Right away, everything negative just took control. And we were already devastated by what happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the entrance to a hospital.
The full extent of McClellan's injury was still unclear hours after the fight.
Right back now.
Nigel, how are you?
I feel very well.
How do you feel about McClellan?
How do I feel? I feel very sorry, but you know, rather him than me.
Better him than me.
Well done. Good luck.
I wish you were dead. That is how I felt.
Kevin Sanders, the new trainer, talking to Nigel Benn. He's got to dig himself out.
If he hit me, I will get up. I'm not one of them Brits that gonna lay down. Proudly British, I'm gonna go out on my shield.
Second out, round 2.
When he got up, gritted his teeth and just stood there. Come on, let's have it.
There's the old Dark Destroyer now.
The sheer power and the punches and the drama.
Listen to this crowd, the chanting, the singing.
Nas was there, Don King jumping up and down. Bruno was going up and down, he had this red suit on him. It looked ridiculous.
That suit?
Oh, Tesco, man, Primark.
No chance.
Look at the heart of Nigel Benn. There's the bell for round 2.
I didn't feel nothing. I didn't feel nothing at all because of Denny Mancini.
Start out thinking this fella. The fella's running out of idea.
Look at him, you've got him, you've got him. He made me believe that I had him every round.
It's such a contrast, your corner, to what many felt was wrong with his corner.
Yeah.
Take that time, baby. Put it on this guy. Me and him in the fucking ring in the war. Wasn't nobody else. He's gonna be beat up. Believe me, he's gonna be beat up. We were there. We was in the trenches. Nice body shot, baby.
Stan Johnson was in charge of Gerald McClellan's corner. They went back a long way, to Gerald's days as a teenage hopeful.
Under pressure, you get nervous. When you get nervous, you forget.
I can't even say that you would classify him as a coach.
I'm a very experienced trainer, probably one of the best in the damn business. And Gerald knew that. That's why he hired me.
Had you ever heard of him?
Going into the fight with Nigel Benn, I understand that it was totally chaos for the whole 2 weeks that he was in London.
That's worse than yesterday. You're buying time by not calling punches, by doing this.
How well prepared was Gerald for the
Gerald
fight?
was in tip-top shape for the fight.
When I walked in Gerald's dressing room, I asked him what he was doing his hands up for. And his words to me were, "These idiots don't know how to do it."
I was the best rapper in the world. Matter of fact, I think I rapped one of these hands.
Now, when you are saying that, not 20 minutes before a fight, you're in trouble.
McClellan had won his 3 previous contests in round 1.
Sheer exhaustion could decide this fight.
Approaching the halfway stage of his first fight at super middleweight, some were seeing warning signs.
McClellan now seems to be having trouble breathing.
Almost losing the gum shield there as though he's spitting it out.
The situation should have been evaluated when Gerald's mouthpiece wouldn't stay in his mouth.
Finally, the mouthpiece was hanging precariously the last few rounds, and it finally goes out. They're still going at it.
That was an indication to me that maybe he wasn't getting the proper amount of oxygen. If someone had the knowledge of a coach, he should have picked up on that.
They didn't know what they were doing. And I'm there. I'm supposed to be the thick paddy watching all what's happening. And I'm thinking to myself, this is organised chaos.
He wanted a winner, and we all want winners, but there comes a time in a fight when you look at a gang and you know it's time to stop. It's a really, really, really important job.
Some say that Gerald should have been pulled out of that fight much earlier.
Why would he be pulled out of a fight that early? He was never in trouble. He was never knocked down. He was never hurt.
Sans quoi, qu'est-ce qu'il fait? Il jette l'éponge. Il l'a pas fait. Les seuls, pour l'instant, les responsables de ce drame, c'est son entourage.
Wrong fucking answer. I'll tell you this, Mr. Referee. My job is to promote a fighter, to get up off the stool, to go wreak havoc on the son of a bitch in the other corner. That's my job. Your fucking job is to stop fights, not mine.
They can't even hear the bell. McClellan's still sitting. Well, McClellan doesn't look like he's interested to come out and do battle. He looks like he's losing heart.
Stan Johnson says he's seen Gerald just 3 times since the night of the fight.
I had to go to psychiatrist a few times just to get myself together with this shit, you know what I'm saying?
The last time they spoke, Stan says Gerald called him the best coach in the world.
Still got the hat?
Yeah. It's like a trademark. It's like Don King, you know what I'm saying?
Gerald knocked it off, didn't he, during training?
Yeah, he would knock off during training. Yeah, he sure would. Yes, he would. Yeah, he would. Broke my teeth during training, too. but he paid for them. Some people say he did it on purpose. Gerald would be that kind of person.
What are your strengths, do you think?
Boxing, punching, I can do it all.
Are there any weaknesses there?
No, just me.
The other fighters I have trained, he probably had the biggest mean streak of all of them.
I just feel a responsibility to clear it up.
If confrontation came naturally, one companion never had to earn the G-man's respect.
G, let's finish there.
I just have pit bulls because pit bulls the only dog that remind me of myself, you know, just real aggressive. Don't take nothing off nobody and just straight to the point, and it's a real aggressive dog.
But for much of his career, unknown to the boxing authorities, Gerald McClellan was actively involved in dogfighting.
Gerald, a Labrador, taped the Labrador's mouth with duct tape and let his dog Zeus kill the dog. And I said, why would you take a dog like a Labrador, which can't even fight? Labrador's a kid dog. Tape his mouth where he don't got no chance at all. Gerald's answer back to me was this: same way in boxing. All I need to do is taste some blood once in a while. And that's all my dog needs to do. He needs to kill something once in a while.
July what? July what? I've never witnessed any of the dog fights, but I will say yes, they happened.
Oh, be damn, son.
I think a lot of people exaggerated the story, but I would ask for forgiveness on Gerald's behalf. I always felt if I don't admit to it, then we're not guilty. But guilt is guilt. The truth is the truth, and a lie will live on forever.
Son, you tired of me, bitch.
Second out, round 8. This isn't a fight, it's a Hollywood script.
It was like Rumble in the Jungle with Muhammad Ali.
McClellan with a hard right, followed by a left. Benn's in trouble. He's staggered against the rope.
Every second, every split second, you didn't know what was going to happen. You're like this. But
a relentless attack. Back comes Nigel Benn out of nowhere. A right hand by McClellan.
And referee is close to stopping this.
Benn buckled over. A right hand by McClellan. Down goes Benn.
When you get knocked down, did you come back and be a bit more clever, hold him like he's your boyfriend or something like that?
Benn is in horrible shape.
Either side of you, Don King,
Yeah,
Frank Warren.
yeah. I was supporting Nigel Benn. I didn't even know he was beside me. I was so intense in the fight. He could have been Mickey Mouse, Batman beside me.
The promoters and their boxers knew the value of victory. A life-changing step into the Super Fight League.
Financially, I had to win that fight for the lifestyle that I wanted. And I had a hefty tax bill as well. I'm not scared to say that, but everybody pays tax. I think I paid about $4 million tax, you know. I had to win. I had to win. I just had to win.
Benn's purse of £700,000 would make a significant dent into that tax bill. It's been estimated McClellan earned little more in his entire career.
So it's been good in what ways?
The limelight, fame, the glory, the money, purses for the fight. Could have been better though.
And money was one of the reasons Gerald's coach, for most of his professional life, was not in his corner.
Gerald McClellan and I had separated because he had been convinced that he could survive without having a manager.
Just remember what I said.
I don't want to go into that. I mean, it's a phase of my life. The man said, fuck me, he left me, but I've did a lot. Because there's not too many good things I have about
At this point, Manny Stewart threatened to stop the interview.
But he went totally crazy.
I hear you, G-Man.
You gotta wonder what's going through the mind of McClellan right now. He thought he had him.
And here comes the charge of the Light Brigade.
When you got so used to knocking over people, and you knock down one and one gets up again. Oh my God.
We're into uncharted territory for Gerald McClellan.
First time he got into a 9th round in his life, McClellan.
He went down in round 9 to say that, you know, that I butted him, which was an accident.
Nigel Benn threw a big left hook, missed with the left hook about a country mile, but with his big ass head slammed into Gerald McClellan's forehead.
Butted on the way down. It wasn't a butt by any means, he fell.
Gerald said, he butted me, man.
Oh boy, here we go.
Get up! 1, 2, and he started counting. Gerald got up.
Ringside observers had already noticed something about McClellan.
McClellan's still winking his eyes, still hurting, and he got hit hard.
Which would now become more apparent.
We all noticed that we couldn't stop talking. Why is he blinking?
Looking back, I can't remember warning signs. I mean, fighters pull their faces around and all the rest of it.
He's blinking a lot, isn't he, Jim? You noticed that, McClellan, on the way back?
And there were 5 doctors sitting around. Nobody said to me, oh, we could have a problem here, or anything like that. This didn't occur.
Maybe a mannerism, but I doubt it. I've never noticed it before in his fights that I've
The corner should have picked that up.
What about the referee?
That's a good question.
Il cligne des yeux. Tout le monde peut avoir des déclignements des yeux ou boxer la bouche ouverte, mais c'est pas un critère pour arrêter un combat. Ce n'est pas possible.
He should have been pulled out. Come on, for God's sake.
But the coach who had treated Gerald like a son blames only one person. The champion who sacked him.
He was virtually on his own over there, making his own decisions, doing the thing, but that's a decision that he had made. And therefore, when he had problems in his fight and he come back to his corner, he's looking at Stan Johnson, and they're looking at him because, Gerald, you're supposed to tell us what to do. If I had been with Gerald McClellan, I don't think the tragedy would have happened.
He's been on the captain 2 times. He came in this fight, son. He cannot land the fight.
By the end of round 9, experts ringside had McClellan well ahead.
Now listen, the half swallowed in that round.
But Benn's corner was growing in confidence.
3 rounds to go. Come on, you'll be the champion of champions. Come on.
I was thinking that I'm just going to make this to the 12 rounds. That was how confident I was that I was going to do 12 rounds.
Second time.
It was like,
You're going to the brink, aren't you?
yes, that's it.
Nigel Benn would develop a taste for that.
You go back a long way, you know.
No, they shouldn't be fucked around then, should I?
Outside the ring, he referred to himself as Satan's right-hand man.
Nice smile into the camera.
Benn's autobiography documented the wild lifestyle.
Don't tell me what to do. I won't take nothing off, all right? Okay.
All I wanted someone to do was grab me and say, you're going to be all right.
But you attempted suicide.
Fill up. So a lot of things people don't understand. I struggled. Sitting in my car, because I had an affair. Put a hose in my car. Crying my eyes out. Don't want to die. but I can't take no more.
Nigel and Caroline are going to come and share a little bit of their amazing testimony of God turning lives around.
The life that I had in boxing was death.
8 years after he attempted suicide, Ben and his wife Caroline became born-again Christians.
God way, trained for 8 weeks, taking 180 vitamins a day. And then after I finished fighting, I go out partying, really hard, looking for drugs. All of my career, I was addicted to drugs. Addicted to drugs. And I've only been born again, truly, 2 years. 2 years. So we just thank God for what He has done in our lives. The mind can play funny games on you. You can sit down and you start thinking about what's happened and what you've gone through and everything else, and you can start feeling remorseful for what's happened. Somewhere along the line, you know it's going to catch up with you.
In February 2007, Nigel Benn returned to London for his first meeting with Gerald McClellan since the fight. Ben had organised a fundraising dinner for his former opponent. Despite 12 years of animosity, Lisa McClellan was persuaded to make the trip with Gerald.
I know there's a lot of resentment, hatred, whatever you want to call it, and I just feel that I have to ask him for forgiveness. That's what I just feel in my heart. I feel that in my heart.
Are you cool?
Before the official function, there would be a private reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Nigel Gregory Benn.
Gregory.
Say his name, say his name, say your name, so I have to keep repeating my name. Nigel Gregory Benn. Nigel Gregory Benn.
Yes. 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 Seeing Nigel, it was probably more emotion in that moment than it's been in 12 years. Stayed in the hospital for 6 months. 6 months.
12 years have all just come up in one go. 12 years just hit me, and
Listen.
What?
This man almost took my life.
This man nearly killed me.
Listen. So do you think Nigel not feel sorry, but just wish that wouldn't happen?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Listen, that's saying.
Yes.
No, that's enough. Come here.
It hit me real hard that this guy hasn't lived the life that I thought he did.
And now I understand. It's not just me and Joe, it's the whole family that's been affected, that didn't want to be affected.
Where's your gun? Where is your gun? Joe said we both got in the ring to risk our lives for other people's entertainment.
Just give 5, please. Thank you. Thank you.
And he said it's something because we're both still here.
Yeah. Fundraiser, babe.
Right.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah. Yeah, you're looking fine, too.
Am I handsome?
Yeah, you're fine.
Huh?
You past handsome.
Ladies and gentlemen, but we are very, very proud and honoured that we've managed to achieve this, and we now have Gerald McClellan being brought into the room with Nigel Benn.
Benn's tribute to McClellan raised £200,000.
Don't be afraid of them.
Favorite sport?
Boxing.
Boxing.
Boxing?
Yes.
Boxing?
Yes.
Hey,
We've laid to rest a lot of things. There was a lot of resentment, a lot of animosities, mostly for what I've caused.
I actually feel
Hold on. Yes.
a sense of peace. Something that we've needed for a very long time.
Amen.
What's hurting him? Something is hurting him.
He's going to count him out.
How can anybody say that he quit?
I've been a liar, I've been a thief, I've been everything, but I've never ever taken any anabolic steroids while I've been boxing.
Listen to me, baby. You're going into the 10th round. So they can't say you ain't never been before because you've been there already. Get a 10th round.
Boxing's a macho game.
He shot his fucking bolt this still, I'm telling you.
He's gone, Nigel. Short fight if you want it.
If you're knocked out cold by a big punch, then fine, people accept that.
This man cannot win this fight unless you give this fight to him. He cannot win until you so far behind me.
But if you quit just because it's becoming a little bit too tough, then people tend to look down on that.
10th round.
Early in the 10th, punches were exchanged. And McClellan put his hand up to his left eye, as if there was a cut, but there wasn't.
Right hand from Benn there.
And then he went down.
Now that is the strangest knockdown I've seen. It came out of nowhere. He gets up at 7.
The oldest swallowed in the previous round. This is great signs for Nigel Benn.
And you can see he got hit with 2 bullshit punches and he went to his knee. He got hit with another bullshit punch and he went to his knee.
What's hurting him? Something is hurting him.
He's shaking his head. He's going to count him out, isn't he?
After 1 minute and 39 seconds of round 10, it was all over.
Là, je compte non pas 8, 9, 10. Finish.
He's going to count him out. He's done him. He's quit.
Nigel Benn has won!
The experts were unanimous in their verdict.
I can't believe that. I've never seen a guy quit in the corner like that. What was that?
We were looking at a fighter who had decided to go onto one knee and not carry on with the battle. That suggests that he's decided to quit.
Knowing my brother, he would have never quit.
Suddenly the chin could still take the punches, but the heart could not.
There wasn't an ounce of energy left in him. How can anybody say that he quit? That's shocking. It almost makes me want to cry, that. Honestly.
I can't regret what I've said because you're dealing with split seconds, you're dealing with the atmosphere, the excitement. A fight that you want your homeboy to win, it looks like he's losing and he turns it all around and wins the fight.
And the next words out of his mouth was, "Johnny, get the stool. Johnny, get the stool." And before Johnny could get the stool, Gerald stood on the apron of the rope. And I squirted water on the top of his head, and he looked up at me and said, "Man, that water you squirted on my head feel like that shit running inside of my head."
did the matching. All the way, mate, all the way.
We're going to wrap this interview because we have a serious problem in the ring with Gerald McClellan.
Squeeze it, good boy, good boy.
There were 3 board doctors. All of them had to have anaesthetic experience. I was satisfied that that injured boxer had had the best possible care from us.
Keep to the side because this is ambulance access.
Tonight, McClellan remains unconscious in hospital on a diet of painkillers and good wishes.
I'm always worried about anyone that gets injured. We want to find out what the injury is. The most important thing is the man's health.
The brain is quite swollen. That's how we would expect a brain to look really after it's been punched for 11 rounds.
You guys wait. You guys have to wait.
Had he continued to fight, you know, it may have been fatal with this blood clot in his brain. But that's God. When God steps into the plan, he'll make a way when there is no way.
It's a small clot, but it will end his fighting career and it will kill him if it's not taken out.
So I'm very prayerful and hopeful and cautiously optimistic that Gerald will be all right.
Next time y'all come through here, we fucking y'all up.
He's completely blind.
Hey, listen. What color you want? What color popsicle you want?
He's not deaf.
What color popsicle do you want? Great.
It's more comprehension. So if he's asking to repeat things, it's not because he can't hear it, it's because he don't necessarily understand it the first time.
Right there. And this?
Yes.
This?
Yes.
Why?
Right here.
You know.
Talking. Talking. I'm behind you, Gerald. Stand up straight, yes. Right here. Yeah. Come on, stand up straight.
He received insurance payments, but Gerald McClellan's earnings were soon eaten up.
I'm right behind you, Gerald. In that chair.
20 years ago, he spent his first major paycheck on the house where he still lives today.
Stand up straight, Gerald.
Whatever he so chooses to do, he can rest assured that I'll be by his side to try to help him to do that.
Yeah.
Don King paid McClellan $250,000 for the fight and training costs.
Saturday. Yeah, July 9th.
In addition, he and co-promoter Frank Warren estimate they paid the McClellan family more than $500,000 they were not contractually obliged to for medical, travel, and other expenses.
Try to strip now, so.
Gerald McClellan's defeat did not damage Don King's influence in the super middleweight division.
Touch my face. They brought them over here to bash me out, mate.
King had already signed a deal to co-promote
16.
Now you might start believing in the Dark Destroyer.
Nigel Benn.
I made a believer out of me. Nigel Benn proved to the world today he got a lot of hearts, a lot of cojones. He fought his behind off.
Well, Don King had done a deal with Nigel Benn. Don King walks in with a champion, walks out with a champion.
Let's unify the other WBA title, and then you got 2 and Roy has 1. And then we go for Roy.
Only in America?
Absolutely.
Great fight, man.
It feels like yesterday that I was shouting at Don King.
They brought them over here to bash me out, mate.
I never forget that. And then he said,
I made a believer out of me.
"You made a believer out of me."
It was Nigel Benn's defining victory.
This guy can run for the head of government now.
But it's been called into question. In 2010, Gerald McClellan's coach claimed to have evidence that Benn had used performance-enhancing drugs.
Do you want the story, man, or you don't?
Benn vehemently denies the allegations.
They said, "We found blood on McClellan's boot that had steroids in it. And my heart, it started pounding. Where that fear come from? I'm not doing no drugs. I've never done drugs. And while I'm training, if you say recreational drugs, I'll say, hey, I put my hand up. If you say I have a spliff, or if you say I've had ecstasy, I put my hands up. Hey, I'm not going to try and cover anything up. I couldn't do that. I couldn't go in a ring and knowing that I've taken steroids, because then I know I would have been a cheat. I've been a cheat. I'm a wife. I've been a liar. I've been a thief. I've been everything. But I've never ever taken any anabolic steroids while I've been boxing.
Did Nigel Benn cheat for that fight?
Absolutely, he was juicy as a motherfucker, I promise you. Because the blood in the shoe is Nigel Benn's blood, because Gerald didn't drop a drop. Nowhere, never. Nigel Benn bled from the eye and the nose. Punishment he put it on him. You was juiced on something, buddy.
I don't know why anyone would say anything like that. Obviously, Gerald McClellan taken straight to hospital wouldn't be drug tested, but Nigel Benn would have been.
In fact, Benn did not take a drug test. On his way to the dressing room, he collapsed.
You look like you was a man of excellent shape and condition who just fought a tough fight, but you go back to your fucking dressing room and you pass out. You know why you passed out? Because you didn't want to piss for him.
You fainted on the way out of the ring.
Exhaustion. What do you think? What do you think? It would have been exhaustion, nothing else but that. But that.
There is no evidence that Benn's collapse was caused by anything other than exhaustion. It's not clear why Johnson waited 15 years to make the allegations, or whether the boot is in any condition to be tested.
What would you say to those who said Nigel might have dodged that drug test?
Come on, Layla. To try and dodge a drug test is just not who I am. Layla, I want to talk about it because I think it would ruin who I am as a sportsman. If you know that I took anabolic steroids and brought them into the ring. Come on, Layla. I can look you in the eye and say, look, steroid was never in my body when I fought Gerald McClellan. It's just not who I am.
Listen.
Yes.
Squeeze it. Squeeze that. When I talk to a former fighter,
right?
Squeeze that. Watch me. And every time,
right?
Because of injury, at least I almost shed in tears.
It's bittersweet because boxing gave Gerald the opportunity to live a life that he wouldn't have if it weren't for boxing. But at the same time, it took the life that he had before boxing. But I still love it, and so does he.
Thank you very much. We are just about to continue.
5 weeks after Benn fought McClellan, Parliament debated a motion calling for the abolition of professional boxing. It was resoundingly defeated.
Boxing will commence immediately. You have returned to your seats. Thank you.
Boxing has done a lot for a lot of people, and for those that it touched, this is an illustration of the love and the outpouring of care that is concerned with one of our soldiers of Holland.
They were part of promoting this fight to the end, enthralling big punchers, bangers, knockout artists. Of course, that's part of the game. But don't lose sight of the fact. Boxing saves hundreds of thousands of lives.
This is God's work. I believe that.
It's boxing. It's the art of self-defense and the warriors going in now. Boxing will always be there.
Who am I to judge another man? Because I have to judge myself.
I do know that this was one great fight. It was more than what it was heralded to be. It fulfilled the prophecy.
It's about us. They were searching for blood that night. Didn't care whose blood it was. Really? Do you know what? This is what you wanted to see. You got what you wanted to see.
This picture makes me wonder what's going through his mind. This would have been the last time.
I remember it every day of my life. Oh man, this picture.
God gives us a choice. In Deuteronomy 39, I give you a choice. I choose boxing. Now I'm going to choose what he called me to do. And that's preaching his word. That's what he wants me to do. And now, you know what? I come out of darkness. Now I'm walking in light.
One of his big concerns is always, did he lose? He always wants to know if he lost the fight that night.
I gotta tell you, I'm moving.
And my opinion is and will always be based on what I've seen. I tell him no.
That's your first contact you ever started earning. You called me bitch on the radio.